أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وآله الطاهرين. قال الله في كتابه الكريم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنما وليكم الله ورسوله والذين آمنوا الذين يقيمون الصلاة ويؤتون الزكاة وهم راكعون. صدق الله العلي العظيم. Illuminate your hearts and your minds with the loud salawat ala Muhammadin wa ala Muhammad. After the passing of the Prophet, for the life of the Imam Ali alayhi salam, there was nothing but dhulm and oppression and injustice that was done to him. There was nothing more and nothing less than hardships that the Imam Ali alayhi salam had after the passing of the Prophet. These hardships and these struggles that the Imam Ali alayhi salam went through after the passing of the Prophet were recorded in a khutbah or a sermon called the khutbah or the sermon of Shiqshiqiyyah. You can find this khutbah in the Nahjul Balagha. It's the third sermon. And in this sermon, the Imam Ali alayhi salam names the different tragedies and hardships that happened after the passing of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This khutbah was named Shiqshiqa because at the end of this khutbah, the Imam Ali alayhi salam said, "Tilka shiqshiqatun hadarat." This is a shiqshiqa which was produced, which the sound of hadid was produced from it. The Arabs, they call the balloon-like organ that resides inside the throat of a camel the shiqshiqa. And this shiqshiqa hangs out from the mouth of the camel and blows up whenever the camel is going through stress, happiness, or sadness. And the sound that is produced from the camel whenever the shiqshiqa is hanging out is called the hadir. The Imam Ali alayhi salam used this khutbah and similarized it as the shiqshiqa and the hadir. The hardships and the struggles that he was going through as the shiqshiqa that was residing in his throat and how he was patient towards them. And when he was saying this shiqshiqa, as a result of the shiqshiqa coming out, the hadir was this khutbah that was recited. Peace and salawat ala Muhammadin wa ala Muhammad. The khutbah starts with this. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Ama wallah laqad taqammasaha ibn Abi Quhafa. I swear to Allah, surely Ibn Abi Quhafa, or in the usual copies of the Nahjul Balagha, Fulanun, has worn the clothes of Khilafat. The Imam Ali alayhi salam starts and similarizes Khilafat as clothes, to show that clothes that are unbefitting for Abu Bakr or Ibn Abi Quhafa has been worn. In this, he uses the phrase clothes to show that to show how unfitting and unworthy Abu Bakr is of wearing it. Sometimes some clothes might be big on me, sometimes some clothes might be tight on me or small on me. Not every clothes fit on me, not every outfit fits on me. And so the Imam Ali alayhi salam used clothes or taqammas to similarize how Khilafat was something that was not befitting for Abu Bakr. Abu Bakr wasn't worthy of such a thing. Khilafat was something too big for him to handle, which is why this khutbah was also named the khutbah of maqammas. Now, Imam Ali alayhi salam in the continuation then says, وَإِنَّهُ لِيَعْلَمُ أَنَّ مَحَلِّي مِنْهَا مَحَلُّ الْقُطْبِ مِنَ الرَّحَى. Abu Bakr wore Khilafat. He took the leadership of the Muslims even though he knew that my position with the believers and religion and deen is that of the pole that holds together a stone mill. The stone mill was a device that was used in the past to make wheat from flours. Now this stone mill was consisted of three parts: the two stones and one pole that was in the middle. The two stones were stacked upon each other, and in between them they would put flour. And when they would spin them around, grinding them, resulting in the making of wheat. Now these two stone mills, these two stones and two stone slabs, to work for the stone mill to even produce any wheat, they had to be made and put around a single stone, a single pole. Now the pole was either wood or stone, but it's not going to make a difference. The central point of this stone mill revolved around a pole. Imam Ali alayhi salam, or Asyab as is said in Farsi. The Imam Ali alayhi salam here similarizes his position as the pole that holds together a stone mill. And the continuation that says, يَنْحَدْرُ عَنِّ السَّيْلِ وَلَا يَرْقَى إِلَيَّ الطَّيْرِ. From the Imam Ali alayhi salam flows a river so vast with such level that no bird could even be able to reach such a height. What does this mean? From this we can ourselves understand how much bilaghat or eloquence the Imam Ali alayhi salam had in his speech. He even is the father of Nahu, the laws and the rules that are in the Arabic language. كل فاعل مرفوع كل مفعول منصوب. The Imam Ali alayhi salam over here starts talking about his knowledge and the ilm that he has. In a famous hadith that was revelated from the Prophet, he says, أنا مدينة العلم وعلي بابها. I am the city of knowledge and Imam Ali alayhi salam is the gate. The Imam Ali alayhi salam here is showing his status as the gate of knowledge, showing that he has such knowledge that all the knowledge of everyone in this world is like a tiny drop compared to this vast ocean. Such a high level that no bird, which here is used to refer to any person, is able to even reach the level of knowledge that the Imam Ali alayhi salam had. Please recite Allah salawat ala Muhammadin wa ala Muhammad. The Imam Ali alayhi salam up to now was talking about how Khilafat was given to the wrong person, how the leadership of the Muslims, of the believers was given to the wrong person. The reason Imam Ali alayhi salam would complain about such a thing and would be frustrated about such a thing is because he was irritated and in discomfort to see the Muslims or the believers being guided on the wrong path, to be swayed on the path of wrong. The Imam Ali salam would never complain about something about something as puny as khilafat, as insignificant as khilafat. But the only reason that Imam Ali salam was irritated from Abu Bakr being the Khalifa of the time was because all the Muslims or the believers would have been guided to the wrong path. The Imam Ali salam is the only rightful leader after the Prophet Muhammad. Allah. So the Imam Ali alayhi salam, he had no other reason to complain or be irritated about Khilafat other than this, that he was worried about the Muslims or the believers being guided on the wrong path. In the continuation, the Imam Ali alayhi salam says, فَسَدَلْتُ دُونَهَا ثَوْبًا وَطَوَيْتُ عَنْهَا كَشْهًا. The Imam Ali alayhi salam then thought and saw that, and he understood that whatever he would try to do, he wouldn't be able to gain Khilafat back again. So what did he do? He let go of Khilafat and started making a plan. وَطَفِقْتُ أَرْتَئِي بَيْنَ أَنْ أَصُولَ بِيَدٍ جَذَّى أَوْ أَصْبِرَ عَلَى طَخْيَةٍ عَمْيَةٍ. The Imam Ali alayhi salam had two options here. أَرْتَئِي بَيْنَ أَنْ أَصُولَ بِيَدٍ جَذَّى. The first option that was there, to make a rebellion and an uprising against this Khilafat, against this evil leadership. But then the Imam Ali remembered that the Prophet, our Prophet, the Prophet Muhammad, made a will and an order for the Imam Ali and told him that, "Oh Ali, never lead an uprising or rebellion against evil unless you have at least 10 companions." One day the believers or the people asked the Imam Ali to lead an uprising, to lead a rebellion against Abu Bakr. So the Imam Ali told them, "If you truly want this, then in the morning come to me with your heads shaved, and then I can make sure and I can identify whether it's time to lead an uprising against Abu Bakr or not." In the morning, after the adhan of the morning prayer, he saw that there were only 4 people who came: Miqdad, Abu Dhar, Salman, and Zubayr. He then did this for another day. Again, only those 4 people came: Miqdad, Abu Dhar, Salman, and Zubayr. Another day. For every single 3 days that the Imam Ali alayhi salam waited to see whether people would come and help him in an uprising, only these four people came: Miqdad, Abu Dhar, Salman, and Zubayr. And so the Imam Ali alayhi salam, when he remembered and when he recognized that the Prophet told him to only lead an uprising when you have at least 10 companions. There were only four people here. How could the Imam Ali alayhi salam do anything? So the Imam Ali alayhi salam was hesitant on leading an uprising biyadin jadha, with a shortened hand. On the other hand, the other option was asbar ala takhyatin amya, to wait and have patience in this darkness, that nothing can be seen in this darkness. Everyone will lose their path. Peace be upon Allah, salawat ala Muhammadin wa ala Muhammad. This patience or waiting in this darkness was so frustrating for the Imam Ali alayhi salam, because of what problems and what casualties and what corruptness that may have happened in this darkness. The Imam Ali alayhi salam depicts this darkness as يَحْرَمُ فِيهَا الْكَبِيرُ وَيَشِيبُ فِيهَا الصَّغِيرُ وَيَكْدَحُ فِيهَا مُؤْمِنٌ حَتَّى يَلْقَى رَبَّهُ. In this darkness, such a dark place, no one can find their way. No one can find the right from wrong. يَحْرَمُ فِيهَا الْكَبِيرُ. Those who have knowledge, those who have experience, the elderly, in this darkness, they are rendered useless. Their knowledge or their experience can't help them at all. وَيَشِيبُ فِيهَا الصَّغِيرُ. And the youth, the people who are young, they might have a lot of energy. They might think that they can go through all their problems and find the right path through strength and willpower alone. But this darkness is full of such confusing paths and corruption that even the young and the youth are considered as weak and unable as an elderly person. وَيَكْدَحُ فِيهَا مُؤْمِنٌ حَتَّى يَلْقَى رَبَّهُ. And the mu'min or the believer in this time will have hardships keeping and maintaining his belief until the day that he meets his creator. حَتَّى يَلْقَى رَبَّهُ. Until the day that he meets his creator. Until the day of his passing. The Imam Ali alayhi salam was very hesitant, because he didn't want to see that the believers or the Muslims were going to be led astray and on the wrong path after the Prophet. To be led astray so they can be going on the wrong path, swayed away from the right path, in corruption. So the Imam Ali alayhi salam was hesitant. He didn't want the believers to be in such a dark place, in such a hard time, that there was nothing but corruption. The only thing that was there was darkness and loss. Everyone would be lost. The Imam Ali alayhi salam was left between these two options, between these two choices. Then in the continuation, the Imam Ali alayhi salam says, فَرَأَيْتُ أَنَّ الصَّبْرَ عَلَى هَاتَ أَحْجَى. The Imam Ali alayhi salam then understood that he really couldn't leave it an uprising, a rebellion. Even though he was going to be so irritated, so uncomfortable, and so frustrated because of the disbelieving of the believers, how these Muslims and the believers would be led on the wrong path, he understood and saw that waiting and having patience was the better option from leading a rebellion. فَصَبَرْتُ وَفِي الْعَيْنِ قَضَى وَفِي الْحَلْقِ شَجَى. And he waited, and he had patience in such a way that he similarized it to as having a bone stuck in the throat and a thorn in your eye. No matter what you try to do, you can't get rid of this throat. You can't get rid of this bone that's stuck in your throat. Such irritation, such frustration, and it was all for us. Imam Ali alayhi salam, he saw that the believers going through the wrong path, and he was hesitant on whether leading an uprising or waiting through this hard time. Now, naturally, when we think the Prophet said, wait, but the Imam Ali alayhi salam hesitated and thought, should I lead an uprising? I don't want to see my believers stay on the wrong path. The Imam Ali alayhi salam cares for his believers so much that even in the wars that he fought, some of the people that he fought would be left alone, unscathed. They asked him, "Oh Ali, why do you leave some of the people alive?" The Imam Ali alayhi salam says that whenever you fight, you kill anyone that you see. But whenever I fight, I don't just look at the person that's coming against me, but I look at the generations of them to come. If I see even one believer that will come from their generation, then I will leave them alone and I will let that believer live. The Imam Ali salam was that careful and was that caring for the believers. This is the Imam Ali alayhi salam. He went through such hardships and such frustration just for us. Now there's a continuation for this khutbah which we will be going over in the future nights inshallah. I thank you for giving me your time. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammadin wa alihi tahirin.